Hey everybody, welcome back to Eating with Evans. This week we're going to make a hot and creamy spinach and artichoke dip with homemade pita chips, which is a great appetizer for any time you're having friends over or watching a game. For this recipe, you're going to need 11 ounces of pita bread. That ends up being about 4 of these 7-inch pitas, 14 ounces of chopped up artichoke hearts. To prepare these are going to come in a jar that's around 20 to 24 ounces total weight, but the dry weight of the artichokes is actually 14 ounces and it'll say that right on the can. What you do is you dump out the water from the jar and let the artichoke hearts drain completely. Then you put them on a cutting board and you chop them up into 1/4 inch size pieces all the way throughout so that it'll be even texture and consistency through the dip. You're going to need 5 ounces of spinach that's been sauteed with 3 cloves of garlic and a little bit of avocado oil. What I did was I heated up the oil and I crushed the garlic into the oil using my garlic press. And then I added in my 5 ounces of spinach and I sauteed that around until it wilted down to something about 1/4 of its original size. Do your best to drain off the water that comes out of this before you add it to your dip. You'll need 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, 1/4 cup of sour cream, 1 ounce of freshly grated Parmesan cheese, a 1/2 teaspoon of hot paprika, a 1/2 teaspoon of freshly grated pepper, and of course some salt to taste. First thing that we're going to want to do is prep our pita chips. So this is super easy. All we're going to do is cut these pita chips into little wedges. So what I'm going to do is cut them in half. And the next thing I'm going to do is cut these into quarters. Now that we've got these pita cut up into individual pieces, we're going to lay them out on a sheet pan. Now that our pita is laid out in an even layer, I'm going to drizzle this with some avocado oil. And now I'm going to sprinkle on some kosher salt and add some freshly ground black pepper. Now these pita chips can go into an oven that you've preheated at 350 degrees until the edges start to brown up and you can tell that the pita chips are really starting to crisp up. Now that our pita chips are in the oven, we're going to start to make our spinach and artichoke dip. First thing that I'm going to add to these 14 ounces of artichokes is my spinach. Next we're going to add in our 1/4 cup of sour cream, 1/4 cup of mayo, about a 1/2 teaspoon of paprika, a generous pinch of kosher salt, and some freshly ground black pepper. Now I'm going to grate in about 1 ounce of Parmesan cheese. At this point, now we can mix this all to combine and then put it into our dish for baking. Now that we've transferred this into our dish for baking, I'm going to add a little bit more Parmesan cheese grated on the top. Now this is going to go into a 350 degree oven until the edges start to bubble and the top starts to get golden brown. As you can see, it started to get brown around the edges and you started to get some nice melting throughout this dip. And this is the final dish. This is a hot and creamy spinach artichoke dip that we're serving alongside some homemade pita chips. Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed that hot and creamy spinach artichoke dip with homemade pita chips as much as I do. If you did, be sure to hit the like button down below. While you're down there, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon. Every single time I put out a new video, you'll get a push notification to your phone telling you that my new video went live. If you haven't already, check out my Instagram page here at Eating with Evans. This is where I post all the meals that I make throughout the week that you wouldn't necessarily see here on YouTube. Until next time.